Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'd like to give you guys an update on my Adenium plant and show you how it's doing. So this is it at the moment. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. It's got lots and lots of nice flowers. Got a lovely pink colour to the flower. Don't know if it's showing up, it seems to be a bit pale in the camera, but it's quite a rich pink. See, there's a nice bit of yellow in it and also a bit of white. So I'm moderately happy with it at the moment, but I'll tell you about what's been going on with it. So basically last year I bought it, had lots of lovely flowers, flowered for most of the summer actually, but the leaves always had some issues, and after a while they all started falling off. Then lost all the leaves, all the flowers in the winter. That was a dormant period, that was fine, it's supposed to go dormant. So I stopped watering it, let it go completely dry, and then in spring I started watering it again, and it got a few more leaves started to grow on it, and I was hoping it would put on some growth of the stems and start growing and maybe get a big fat caudex, because a lot of the adeniums have really fat caudex and they look really beautiful when that's grown, but this one hasn't got a big one at the moment. It's quite small. You can see the trunk here hasn't grown that much, so it started to grow leaves again, but the same problem occurred again this year. You can see the edges of the leaves are going brown and dying. I've looked it up online. It seems to be overwatering might be a problem, so I've cut back the watering a lot recently. So I'm giving it very little water at all. Although, to be honest, I wasn't watering it that much to begin with. So now I'm treating it more like a cacti. Before I was treating it a bit more like a succulent. Succulents in summer, you can give them quite a bit of water when they're in the active growth phase. So now I'm actually giving it very little water, only when it's really completely bone dry. And unfortunately, the leaves continue to fall off. So you can see these are the last two left. And there's a little sprig of green there. But apart from that, there's no leaves. But the flowers have been great. It continues to have lots of flowers. You can see it's covered, and actually when it's flowering it's quite nice not to have any leaves, because it makes the flowers much more spectacular, makes them stand out more, and it really has been flowering really well. So if I wanted it just for flowers, and the plant's been doing really well, but as I say, I want it to put a lot more stem growth on. I want it to really thicken up its caudex and start looking good. So what I need is for it to grow lots of leaves, and then with all the energy they can get from the sunshine, start producing lots of stems. Now I have grown adeniums once before in Taiwan. I had one for 3 months, so I was only there for the summer. When I bought it, it had flowers just like this, and then as soon as the flowers finished, it put on loads of new leaves, loads of growth, and it actually grew about 20-30 centimetres in those 3 months. Put on lots of growth, it did really well. Funnily enough, I watered that one quite a lot, and it still grew really well. It had slightly less light levels because it was in a very secluded courtyard, and the temperatures were much higher. The maximum every day was about 35 up to 38 at times. The nighttime temperatures very rarely dropped below 30, because the small courtyard that it was in was actually an airspace for all the air conditioning units of the building, so there was a huge amount of heat being pumped out there every night. So I don't know if the temperature is an issue, but I'm not sure. If any of you guys has an advice as how to get this more into a growth phase and less of a flowering phase, please do let me know. If you also have any advice on the leaves going like that, because as I say, this is the first time I've only had this one adenium, apart from the one in Taiwan, so I'm still learning with them. But flowers are doing well. I have been feeding it with a multi-purpose feed, trying to encourage more growth, but the flowers seem to have been the main thing it's doing. So as I say, I really want to put more growth on the stems. This year you can see how little the growth is. It's just a slightly lighter green colour that is grown, so literally a centimetre of stems, that's it. It just grew about 5 leaves on each stem, and then flowered and dropped all the leaves. Same again here, you can see the fresh stem in the lighter section, and then no more leaves. These lower shoots have remained dormant, and in fact some of these stems like this one here have actually dried off and died, so I'm not sure what that is. So I'm, as I say, moderately happy, but I would like some more stem growth. So I'll probably look up online again. If you guys have any advice, please let me know, and I'll try and change the way I'm looking after it. It's getting full sunlight at the moment, and apart from dropping all the leaves and the leaves dying, it seems to be pretty happy. The roots are good. You keep checking them, they're not rotting off or anything. You can see them at the bottom of the pot there. They're quite healthy, quite fat roots. Poured it out the pot as well. Doesn't seem to be any rotting roots. And as I say, the flowers are really healthy and looking really good. So that's my Adenium update. I'll give you guys an update possibly later on when it goes into dormancy, or even if it starts to put on some leaves again, because that's really what I'm hoping for. So that's all for now for this video, and thanks for watching.